Hello, welcome to our weekly astrology transits. And wow, what a week, right? So, anyway, I backed it up to yesterday, July 15th, and we see that our Mars and Uranus conjunction has perfected there, 26 degrees. And if we go back a couple days, Saturday, um, we had a very interesting day in the United States. We had a attempted assassination on President Trump. And here is this unexpected violence, this unexpected sudden energy, shooting, the head, blood, sudden Secret Service stand down, all of the implications behind that. There's so much information coming out now. There's just a tidal wave of that. But let's look back at this day. We see the moon was in Libra. We had the back and forth, that, compassionate, looking out for others kind of energy coming into the weekend. And then we go to the next day. Well, let's just look at this also, because we have another couple things in check. We have the eclipse degree at, it was 19 Aries. We had the eclipse, and let's just go back here to Wednesday and Thursday. Later in the day, Wednesday, it changed. So what we're looking at here is, I want you to see, notice the sun, and I'll take these off in the middle in a minute, but I wanted to show you something for today. But the sun is at the first square, and we've talked about this, that eclipse was at 19 Aries and some odd change, and here the sun on the 10th, what time do I have it set for, in the afternoon, and then the 11th, 19 degrees. So the sun is ingressing into that. It's in that orb. It's right there into that first wave of problems, of situation. The eclipse, it went through the whole United States. No other place. We had that crisscross with that other eclipse. We went through all of this, but I want you to see these. I want you to see astrology in action. And sometimes it is to the exact day, but we have an orb, a couple degrees. The sun is big. It sends that orb on either side. So looking at the 10th and then 11th, where we have the sun at that 19 Cancer, would be making a square to that 19 Aries spot that the eclipse we had in April was at. All right, now we move ahead. I should show you not chart of the United States, but we're going to just look at this. Okay, so Friday, Saturday, we also see, this getting closer. Mars is right in. It's like a degree away. And here we have that event in Philadelphia, or in Butler, Pennsylvania. Okay, now what happens? Then our moon Sunday, late Saturday, Sunday, goes into Scorpio. So we kind of started out this week with the Scorpio moon. Scorpio moon is deep into investigating. It will investigate a mystery, do deep research. It's intense. Okay, so that's when everything is felt to the nth degree. And if you don't think people felt this on all levels, that there was an attempted assassination, I believe, by the deep state, it's felt, that energies come through. I mean, it is passionate, it's joy, it's betrayal, it's love, it's desire, it's hate, it's love, it's passion. It lets you know you're alive. But this created, I mean, I was barely, I had heard about this event in the afternoon, and then that night there was tremendous amount of reporting on this incident. There was so much information. I mean, detailed information. I mean, people got really involved and really went down the rabbit hole. I just want to point out the astrology. So we had, after that, Libra moon, kind of, I think people went into shock a bit. Just the fact that we're facing that crap nowadays. But, we have deep state plots being run over and over and over again. Same playbook, same stuff. You know, people aren't idiots anymore. People are seeing through this veneer and seeing all the stuff, all, you know, Toto is pulling back the curtain of Oz. So astrology is showing us these times. So we are now, we had Sunday and then into Monday yesterday when it perfected into the Scorpio moon. And then we have this event perfected. Now, I'm going to just go through the transits. I might do another video after this, but I'm going to just stick to transits. I've left this on, and I don't have all the aspects that these can make. But what I do want to show you Monday, yesterday and today, all these sextiles. We've got all of a sudden this energy just kind of changed. It's tense, but there is a divine influence here, is what I want to point out. We have a lot of cool stuff here. We've got Pluto in conversation with Neptune. It's at that end degree, and another sign, but it's still making that sextile by degree. Then we have Neptune making a sextile, or a sextile, I'm sorry, over to Uranus. And we have this, you think about it, sextiles have to be the same polarity. So we have here, a feminine polarity, and then it goes, it skips the masculine Aries and goes over to the feminine Taurus. So there's our 60 degrees right there. So we have the two outer planets. We had Pluto, all these outer planets are linked here by sextiles. This is kind of a divine thing. And then Uranus sextiles over to the sun. It's very interesting. It's a very kind of cool aspect. All the outer planets which get into position for a while, and then the sun now just moved into this position here. Well, I think that's very interesting, but we're going to move on ahead. I'm going to just take those off so I'm not distracting at the moment, because it's not sharing with me all the aspects I want, but I wanted to show you those. Okay, so we're moving into Tuesday, and the sun has cleared that degree. It's out of that, it's separating square, it's still close to that 19, but it's moving apart. So we're getting some resolve, we're getting some resolution. The moon is now about ready to move into Sagittarius, which is a much more uplifting feeling for about an hour or two, couple hours. So we'll start to feel a little bit more of an uplift with, the moon now coming into Sagittarius. It's always a more dynamic, upbeat energy. Then it moves and it settles down into Capricorn. So then we'll get serious about some things. And then we go into the rebellious Aquarian energy. So I think this is going to be a rock and roll week. And we're not out of the woods yet. We still have Mars going into the fixed star area of Algol, which is a nasty spot. I'm not a whole lot into a lot of fixed stars, but that's, I know Regulus, and then Algol is not a good one. Algol, I forget the warrior or whatever was cut the head off of Medusa, and that's where Algol was at. And here we have, things like almost a decapitation, something to the head, right? President Trump was shot in the right ear. That's right to the head. Astrology is just amazing at how accurate it is a lot of times. All the time. I shouldn't say not a lot of time, all the time. But here we go. Now Mars is passing that. It's getting past that. It's still going to hit that degree. I forget. I think it's 28 where that is. It's still in a precarious place. So today, Tuesday, that I'm doing this, we have that separating conjunction, which is kind of a relief, but we're not out of the woods yet because Mars has got to finish going through that fixed star area. But hopefully it will be lessening. Now, interesting things coming up. We already talked about the moons. Okay, talk about that. Well, we're coming into the full moon on Sunday, and that's going to be another interesting day, but we'll get there. So this week, I think we're kind of recovering from this upset. It's felt, the shot that was heard around the world for sure. So we're coming into this week ahead now with the separating conjunction. We're past that ecliptic square. So I think we can start to get a different sense of things about us. So let's move on to Thursday where things start picking up. Well, let's see. What we do have on Wednesday, tomorrow, the moon does make a couple interesting aspects as it's starting into beginning Sagittarius. It is going to make a trine, or it did here at this day tomorrow, over to Venus. So that's nice, a fire trine with the moon and Venus. So there's some gumption here. There's some fires lit. There's some passion and energy coming out about things that we love, about things that we value. And that is gonna hit home with a lot of people. That's a big one. And then it also opposes Jupiter. Like right here, you can see the opposition to Jupiter. These two signs are opposing, and it's 1 degree off at this time here. So, there's now it's making good to one benefic and making an opposition to another. So there's, some opposing forces here. There's people that aren't on board, people that see another side. But what we have to look for as humans, we have to look for the truth. We have to ask questions like, who would benefit from this? We have to ask why the media is so blatant in covering things up and censoring things. If it wasn't for X, if it wasn't for Elon Musk right now, we would we'd be into the banana republic even faster than we're moving. But since he freed up X, there's so many more true voices being able to put things out online, millions and billions of views of all sorts of truth on all kinds of levels is being revealed more and more and more and more. So this is a very interesting time. And sometimes, we look for these aspects. We had that other one on January 6th, all those squares. You can't ignore this stuff. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I'm just going to move on here, but we cannot ignore this. Okay, so moving on, Wednesday, it's just a little push-pull with emotions. We got to go ahead, but then we still got a little gnarliness there. So moving into Thursday, we have the sun making a nice sextile to crazy Uranus. So there's some kind of a reconciliation or a understanding, maybe sudden enlightenment, maybe more truth bombs are going to be dropped. And then it will also, in a couple of days, you'll see that it will sextile Mars, Mars. Depends on how fast it moves. Okay. The moon. Okay, the moon is now trine. And okay, this is an interesting one. I don't get into Chiron a whole lot, but there is some interesting back and forth with Chiron. And the reason I mention it is the wounded healer. The wounded healer just makes a comeback. So the moon will be trining Chiron, and I don't even think I have it listed in here. No, I don't. But it's going to be trining Chiron, and then Chiron will be trining Mercury. So that's kind of for me saying like the moon feelings in a good trine to Mercury is going to be, the feelings and the mind are going to be congruent. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I said. Both of them, Chiron and Mercury. And then Mercury is going to be trine Chiron, and the moon is going to be in conjunct Uranus and Mars. So we have a little bit of, it's like we are not okay with this sudden violent stuff that happened. Now, whether it's on a large scene or it's into your own life, we're not on board with it. We can't identify with it. We are, as a humanity, I think we're passing this crap. And that's a big part of this. We have to see the truth. We have to have this stuff pointed out. What did I hear today? Americans aren't stupid, they're just asleep. But more and more people are waking up. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. Coming into our new moon time, our full moon time, Friday, we've got now the moon making a square to Neptune. What am I having my Friday? Not Friday. No. That's going to be making a sextile over there. I was looking at the wrong page. So we've got some, as the moon goes through Capricorn, it will make a sextile over there to Neptune. So we'll have more congruency with that our inner nature, or the inner side, you know, being in that kind of, well, let's do it right. Let's get out of this confusion. Neptune, you know, as the moon, you know, moves further into Capricorn, when it gets later in the day, it will then just kind of make that want to get out of the confusion. And then also the moon will make a quincunx over to Venus. So it will, you know, getting out of the confusion and looking at things is going to be uncomfortable. And it's also going to be in a quincunx over to Jupiter. So on a large level, a lot of people are going to experience that those in conjuncts. We have large, and then Gemini, large people or large populace, and then the passion of Venus in Leo right now, and then the moon going through Capricorn is going to again make a not great aspects either way. You know, it's going to oppose the sun. It's going to in conjunct Venus or quincunx, and quincunx over also to Jupiter. So the moon here, this emotional stuff that we're going to get is going to be kind of like tough, tough love, tough stuff, rising to the occasion, stepping up to the plate, getting a little righteous maybe. And then we go into Saturday. Moon still moving through Capricorn here, and it'll get, you know, past some of that. But then it's going to conjunct or go over after it changes signs, you know, it'll go over Pluto. So that will be very interesting. But so again, it's going to kind of like getting down into the depths, feeling the depths. Look at it, the moon is still in Sirius Capricorn, moving into another Saturn ruled sign, but it's going to get rebellious as it does it. It'll conjunct, you know, it'll move into Aquarius, but then it'll conjunct Pluto. So it's just going to the depths. You know, there's going to be some depthy things happening. We're not out of the woods yet. What else is going on here? The moon is also going to trine Saturn, you know, going through feminine Capricorn. And when it gets onto the end here, well, see, it's right here. It's like 20, you know, when it was 19, there's our first one, our first sextile. And then as it gets near the end of the sign, it will sextile over to Neptune. So we have some foggy information trying to come out. You know, we have some lies trying to be covered. We have some emotional deceit being perpetrated. Let's put it that way. All right, what else do we got going on? Then we have Mars just changed signs. Mars just got out of someplace it doesn't like to be. You know, it's not very strong in Taurus. You know, Mars is, you know, that's a place of its detriment. It's not very good there, but now it moves into Gemini. It's, you know, Mars and Aries and Gemini and Mars are still, but it adds irritation, antsiness, it amps things up, but it's still a lot better being here. It's not in any direct what's the word? Bad rulerships. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to add to the busyness. We're going to get double busy, double interested in things. Our energy is going to be, it has a tendency when it goes into Mars goes into Gemini to get scattered, to not stay on track, to get distracted. So try to keep your energy focused, not have it get too distracted with too many projects, because now all of a sudden it's going to feel like it got out of jail free card, but it's going to be a bit raucous. And then it's going to go over, you know, when Mars moves forward, it'll go over Jupiter. So this could be a group, you know, aggressiveness, anger, energy could be affecting a large group coming in. Look, it's coming right in. So we see that coming. What else on that day? That's about it on that. Then we move into Sunday, and we see the moon it'll be when moon gets well, it's already passed. Let me go hours here so you can see it, because it's kind of interesting. Gotta go to 29. Almost there. There we go. Go back one more. I think we can get keep it. No, there it is. Didn't want to do it there. Okay, 29. So what's interesting, this aspect, or this full moon has a lot of aspects to it, has a lot of moon aspects. Um, well, we've got the moon, first of all, opposing the sun. And then we have the moon sextiling uh, uh, Neptune. So this can be very interesting too. This could be very, um, I want to say, it has that Saturnian suspicion here, trying to get through the fogginess of Neptune. But then as soon as it does, it just hits up against Pluto. So it has to, emotionally dive deep again. And I think that's going to be very, very interesting. It's kind of like we're seeing the same thing kind of happening over and over again with different planets saying the same thing. We also have Venus making another sextile, where over to Jupiter. So now we have this energy coming in. So this is nice. There's a large group um, being inspired, holding something dear to their heart. On a personal level, it could be a large interests that you're passionate about. Um, Venus is what you love, and Venus is over here in passionate, dramatic Leo. And what else was going on with that? I was going to tell you about. Where is it? Close to the nodes too. Look at fire nodes. We're at 10 degrees on the nodes. So one node, we've got a nice trine, and then the other one, we've got a sextile. So Venus is in good position with the nodes, with our karma, with moving, things getting closer to our destiny, getting rid of stuff that doesn't serve us. So there's a lot with that. And there's also Mercury. There's Sun right down here. 26 Mercury is right at the degree of Uranus there, making a square. This is one thing that I think is going to be very interesting over the next few months. We have Uranus there at 26, going still to 27. Mercury here is going to go in, it's going to go retrograde. It's going to go to about 4 Virgo, I think, and then it'll start retrograding and it'll go back to 21 Leo. So, very, very interesting times we're going to be living in with this square. So we've got sudden changes, we've got disturbances of travel, Mercury, Uranus. Mercury's going to hit it a few times. It's going to go forward and it'll retrograde hit, and then it'll go forward again. It'll be, I think, 27 degrees. So it's going to be hitting 26 and 27 over to Uranus for a while. So, it's going to go out of orb when it, when it hits the 4 degrees. Let me just go over here. Days. Sorry, I got distracted. It's going to go over to 4 Virgo, and then it's going to come back. So it's going to hit that again. So we're going to keep having this, unusual circumstances, intellectual breakthroughs, some solid drama. So we're going to have these two there for a while Mercury goes its retrograde. So get ready for that. And what else has got going on here? We told you that one. Oh, and then the sun, we said that the sun is at the end of, Cancer, and it's trining over to Neptune. So we see these players involved here, these actors involved. So sun, this is nice, into that, but still, I think it's kind of highlighting this false illusion, this false sense of security that we might be feeling, because this is the nice aspect, but there's too many prickly things going on around it. And then we also have Mars making its first it's at an air sign, and it's making a trine over to Pluto in an air sign, right? So Mars in Gemini trining over to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is another kind of rough one. Even though it's a trine, it's in air signs. There's a lot of activity here. And then Mars in the Gemini is going to really heat things up. It's going to be a lot of action, a lot more movement, a lot more ideas, a lot more craziness, a lot more communications too. And communications about the depth of things going into Pluto, going behind the scenes. You know, there we have some of some of that other energy we discovered earlier, going behind the scenes, understanding a deeper aspect of what's going on, getting in and investigating. So that's what's going to be happening on a huge level. Because this is very interesting. And then we move into Monday, where we have the sun moving into Leo. There. And then it opposes Pluto. Look at there. See, same themes. You know, we got more of the dramatic Leo, um, from the heart, speaking or communicating from the heart, needing validation, being on stage, having that public eye, needing to get an attaboy, attagirl. And then it opposes Pluto. So it has to go to the depths again. You know, the light is being shined into the darkness. There's a lot of truth that is just going to come pouring out of hell right now. And I think we got those of us that are aware, that have been doing our homework, that have been doing the deep research, that have been reading and investigating and listening and spending time doing that, are going to have to explain it to the people that have a bit of a normalcy bias, that have a little bit too much hopium, a little pie in the sky. It's like, you know, not everything is unicorns and roses. Doesn't mean it can't be better, but we have to realize what's wrong, you know, shine the light on it so we can make it right. If we can't admit things that are wrong or where we've been wrong, we can't make it right. So anyway, that is the kind of the gist of this week's horoscope. And then, you know, when we come into next Tuesday, we've got the moon will be just about out of rebellious Aquarius, you know, giving us the urge to stand up, you know, and to speak with passion. We had the sun moving into Leo, we have Venus in Leo, we got Mercury in Leo. All of this passionate energy is happening. This is going to give people an outlet to speak. Then at the end of this day, you know, later on, we'll come back to it next week, or this I have it set in the morning. The moon will then go into Pisces, and things will just take take the foot off the gas pedal for a few days. But we'll get back to that next week. So this has been one heck of a week. Very, very interesting astrology. And again, it's like a weather report. If we know what the weather is like, we can prepare accordingly. If it's too hot, we dress cooler. If it's too cold, we wear coats. If it's raining, we bring an umbrella. So this is what astrology is helping us to see. And I hope this helps everybody to understand and help navigate through this interesting time that we're in. We all have to do our part to step up to the plate and find and speak the truth, not what we think, but what we can validate on multiple levels and ultimately validate with our heart. All right, love you all. Stay cool, stay safe. Talk to you all next time. Bye for now.